Hey guys, today we're going to cover retrogrades. Okay, I know a lot of people may not know what retrograde means, so we're going to start off. The term retrograde refers to the illusion created by the planets in their retrograde periods, during which a planet's orbit around the sun makes it appear to be slowing down and moving backward. In astrology, retrogrades are essentially periods during which your life might slow down significantly and prompt you to revisit certain themes or struggles depending on which the planet is in. Okay, so you're definitely is taking the time to slow down and observe and be more aware. So being with that said, that being said, I'm going backwards today. So let's revisit that. We're going to go into and see which planets are in retrograde this year and which planets are going to be in retrograde this year. So first up, we're going to talk about Pluto being in retrograde in Aquarius, okay? So this is very important because Aquarius energy is about knocking stuff over, getting stuff done. Don't we know that, Aquarius? He knows. He's Aquarius. So it's about changing things up and reinventing things, and it's a lot about rebellion, okay? So Pluto in retrograde in Aquarius is going to be from May 2nd to June 11th and June 12th until October 10th. Okay, so we're going to be shaking things up and rebelling against things. So what changes need to be made for the sake of everyone? Because Aquarius is a humanitarian. And how can we improve on recent changes to institutions such as the government, healthcare, education? Okay, so and I know we see those riots in Paris where people are burning stuff down because of the government. So it's definitely something that we're needing to be paying attention to, because as we know from before, retrograde is slowing things down, reassessing certain themes, and seeing where things need to change, okay, and where we need to be improving and benefiting and bettering ourselves in that. Okay, now the other planet that's in retrograde currently is Saturn is in retrograde in Pisces, okay? So Saturn is the planet ruled by Capricorn, which is typically, as we know, if you don't know, Saturn was the god who ate his children. I know, creepy, right? So it's definitely about, it's kind of like a negative energy you would consider, but it's also, a lot of things with Saturn is also, a lot of change and uplifting things, okay? So uprooting things, I mean. So how can I be more disciplined with my spiritual practices? What space can I create for more creativity in my life, okay? Because that's that Pisces energy and tapping into being more motivated. So we're focusing more on being more motivated in our spiritual practices, because also Capricorn represents spirituality as well. So we talked about what planets are in retrograde, but now we're going to talk about what planets are going to be in retrograde coming in this year, okay? So first we have Neptune is going retrograde in Pisces. So this is another Pisces energy, okay? So spirituality seems to be the theme this year, okay? So we're definitely shifting our spirituality and our intuitive abilities. So it's going retrograde in Pisces, where it feels very at home in Pisces, okay? So are the spiritual practices serving me, or am I, okay? And what is the benefits of regular meditation, prayer, and journaling? So we're definitely, being that it's in retrograde, we're having to revisit these themes of tapping into our intuition, okay? And seeing where it serves us. Where do our spiritual practices serve us, and where do we need improvement? Are we needing to seek more depth, or are we needing to do more shadow work? What do we need to do, okay? So we're also seeing this Venus is retrograde in Leo, okay? So it starts July 23rd, kicks off Leo season, okay? And it stays there until September. Okay, so that Leo energy in Venus is telling us, Leo in Venus definitely feels right at home. So how can we enjoy more bold, creative expression, okay? And where have I dulled my light so that someone else can shine, okay? And that's definitely a Leo theme. They kind of like step back and want to let other people be able to have that aspect of trying to uplift them. Leos are very uplifting people. So you're having to see where you need to serve yourself as well, and not just helping others, but learning to take time for yourself as well, being that it's in Venus energy with Leo, okay? So that's definitely very beautiful aspect. Okay, so the next retrograde that we're going to be experiencing as well is August 23rd to September 15th. So Mercury in retrograde and the Venus in retrograde are going to be around the same time. But this is going to be in Virgo. So we're definitely seeing where we can add more order to our environment. So we're needing more structure, being more analytical, and being that Virgo is the home planet of Mercury. It's feeling right at home, okay? So we're definitely getting more structure in our lives and more order and being more analytical, okay? What contributions can my services be to the greater good? What area of my health can I improve? So we're definitely seeing where we can be more servants to others and helping others as well with that Mercury retrograde, and how can our services work for the greater good of humanity. So another one that we're having in the late months in September to December, September 4th to December, is Jupiter being retrograde in Taurus. So we're seeing how we can expand in Taurus energy, okay? So am I being overly optimistic or cautiously pessimistic about my financial situation? So not okay. So I was cut off before I could finish talking about the retrograde, so we're going to finish it up here. So we have this Jupiter retrograde from September to the end of December, and it's going to kind of coincide with another Mercury retrograde. Okay, so this one is in Taurus, and we talked a little bit about it being pessimistic about your financial situation. So you may be feeling like you might not have enough, and we know that because it's around near those end months of, Halloween, Thanksgiving, December. So we're definitely having to feel like we have to stretch things. There might be some issues with the economy, and we're learning how to be more optimistic about our issues around money. So keeping that in mind, and the feeling of enough and having enough towards the end of the year, and maybe we might be feeling like we don't have enough. So we're also having to feel more valued. How do we feel valued in this world with this Jupiter retrograde? Okay, so this is expansion, and we're feeling like we might not have enough, and we're having to scrunch every dollar. What's the word I'm looking for? Stretch every dollar we have. I said scrunch. So that is that energy with that Jupiter retrograde. Okay, so the last retrograde that we're going to be experiencing through the end of the year is going to be a Mercury retrograde. Ooh. Hurrah, right? We all know about Mercury retrograde. So it's going to be in Capricorn and Sagittarius from December 13th to the 24th, and from December 25th to the 1st. So we're going to be in Mercury retrograde at the very end of the year. So that might be a little chaotic with miscommunications. And also, don't plan anything, okay? So just hold off your plans. So we're seeing how can our solitude benefit us? Where have we been too serious? And what is the benefit of planning? Because we have that Capricorn energy, so we're wanting to make sure that we make plans for the next year. And where is your faith wavering? So where are you having to get more in line with your spiritual practices and your spirituality in general, and being one with your whatever beliefs you have? So you're needing to relax and let loose, okay? So don't be so serious. And how can us being in a solitude and being one with yourself and having this inner reflection, how is that benefiting you towards the end of the year and making your plans moving forward for the next year? So remember that it's also in Mercury, so make sure that we're not having any miscommunications, and that we're not making any serious plans. We may want to be making plans from what it's saying in that Capricorn, but hold those plans off until the Mercury retrograde is over on the 1st, okay? So don't act on those plans until the new year, okay, you guys?